TV show. Really sketch
Am I
comedy.
on TV right now?
No.
Yes, you are.
Well, now you are, yeah.
What are we talking about?
So it's a handful. It's a sketch comedy show. You guys heard of it at all? You guys heard of TV10?
No.
You heard of Handful before?
Hate the show.
Hate it. Hey man, heard of Handful before?
Please just leave me alone.
Have you heard of Handful before?
Absolutely. Best TV show ever. Even better than Seinfeld.
Where is my gosh darn coffee? I've been sitting here waiting for about a half an hour now. What do you mean it's not on the way? Wait, we're starting? Good evening. Welcome back to BPBS. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. And if you're coming in from Saturn, thank you. Now, for all our new viewers here, we like to do a first bit that's called the BPBS News Headline. Thanks to sponsors like you, we can keep the lights on, so please don't stop donating, or I'll not feed my family. Now, let's move to those headlines. Waffle outfits, the new trend. Let me tell you what. I saw this on Broadway first. I was like, what? This is not Hamlet. This is a waffle suit. Definitely threw me for a loop, I'll tell you what. But, man, do people just rock that melted butter. Pretty sweet, like the syrup. Now, let's move to the next news clip right now. And next up on our news segment, we have the Kodiak World League. Now let me tell you this is an amazing new league formed. A bit dangerous, I might add. A little bit dangerous, but man, who doesn't like risking their life for entertainment? I mean, it's pretty comparable to football, in my eyes. Let's move on to our next bit here, please. Chuck E. Cheese Mouse has died? To be honest with you, he really fell off. He fell into obscurity. And honestly, it kind of made me sad knowing he was alive for that long. I thought he passed away years ago. How he passed away? The world may never know. Cheese overdose, even though mice eat cheese. Peanut butter overdose, even though mice eat peanut butter. The world may never know. Now, let's move on to our final news segment. A poor woman lost out in the snow. Oh, brings a tear to my eye, to be honest. Let's see the final, last clip of this poor lady just trying to deliver a Krusty Krab pizza. It's a pizza for you and me. Please, just roll the clip.
Krusty Krab, yeah, pizza.
And welcome back. I hope you didn't tear up as much as I did, but if you've seen that crazy weather out there, you'll know Wisconsin is in a horrible place right now in the weather field. Even right now, it's wintry rain and snow and sleet and maybe even a little sunlight, but we can only hope. Isn't that right, Cole? Now, Cole, some would call you a weather expert. Some would call you an expert on weather. Some would even say, you know so little something about the weather.
Some might say something like that.
Allegedly. Now, I was wondering what's been up with this weather in Wisconsin, because as you know, it's dangerous out there. I mean, look at the map. The map is just all blue. Like skies of blue. red roses too. But you don't see them bloom for me and you. And if you can see here, cold, chilly, all in Wisconsin, that's a very, very hard thing to have to sit through. So, I'd like you to first tell me what is wrong with this weather.
First of all, this is Arkansas.
No.
Yes.
No, it's not Arkansas. It's I can tell you it's not. I can tell you it's not Arkansas. It looks like it's all blue like Wisconsin. Wisconsin's blue.
Is this a joke? Because I'm taking a lot of time out of my business right now, and I'm supposed to be doing some field research right now. So really, if this is
this is Arkansas. You were right. It's a trick question. Trick question. Ah, you got the right one. Oh, I mean, Wisconsin. Am I right?
but this is Arkansas.
But it's pretty similar, right? I mean, they're pretty close.
I mean,
they're close.
they're both cold. I'll give you that. That is true. There's cold. Other than that, nothing on this map is accurate. But.
And we're gonna cut to our nature forecast. Actually.
But I appreciate the effort. It was a really good try.
I can only do so well with my wonderful camera and experts out there.
Are you okay?
I'm great, thank you. Okay. Now, before we cut you off, dear Cole, what can we expect for the weather?
Thanks, Dan, and thanks to all of you in the audience for tuning back into our weekly nature updates. Today, we have a very special update for you, because we've heard that if you look closely, you can see that the swallows are returning. And they've returned. Back to you, Dan.
David, I told you can't be on this week. Oh, David. We'll have you on next week, okay? Just stop this temper tantrum, okay? You need to settle down, take a breather. That is our camera person, David. David, go back to the camera. Go back to the camera. Go, David. Amateurs. Now, for this next bit, we are going to have a sponsorship. A PBS show. Sponsorship. Who would have thought? Now, this week, we're sponsored by water. That is the theme song. Now, apparently for this ad read, I'm supposed to drink a little bit of water and then move on with my life. I can't, Sandra. I really can't. Why, Sandra? Why? Roll, get Ben out here. Just get Ben out here. Thank you, everyone, for returning after that wonderful ad break. And if you don't remember, buy water. It's good for you, and it hydrates you, unlike Sandra. Now, Noah Schwartz, resident expert on sports. It's been a pleasure. I've been trying to get you on here for so long, but I know you've been so busy with your project with the Hall of Fame and your project with baby animals and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Now,
it's been pretty busy.
A little busy, some would say. Now, Noah, I wanted to talk to you about sports today.
Sports.
Sports, indeed. Now, we were talking about the Super Bowl just earlier today, and you said there's a lot of cheating going on in that Super Bowl. In fact, there's so much cheating going on that you made a Twitter rant about it. Now, tell me, what was a part of that Twitter rant? Like, why would you do that?
Well, you know, sports are pretty important, and I think a lot of the charm in sports is lost when people are just cheating. You know, that means that, you know, things aren't working right. You know, you got people and they aren't really performing to their best because obviously they're stacking the deck in their favor, you know, and all that. Sports. Yeah.
When you said sports, it almost brought a tear to my eye, I won't lie. Now, I have a little bit of trivia for you. To make sure that you are kept up to date on your actual sporting news, Kyrie Irving, what team is he on?
Sports.
That is correct. I didn't think you'd get that one, I'm not gonna lie. I know you're not a big basketball fan, even though you have a Bucks hat on. But let's move on to our next question. Baseball. This is your memo. This is your thing right here. Now, tell me, the Mets, are they from New York?
It's about the Mets, baby.
The
Go
Mets.
the Mets. Love the Mets.
Oh my, I didn't think you'd get that one, but we are 2 for 2, baby. Let's move on to the next question. Now, you like to watch a bit of hockey, don't you?
Yeah.
No, Schwartz in his hockey, I tell you that much. All right, your favorite team, the Kings. Big LA Kings guy. Now, tell me, are they making the playoffs this year?
Yeah, that's a pretty hard question, you know, with how unpredictable these things can be. But I think I gotta say sports.
I honestly didn't think you'd get that because it sounded a bit open-ended since I said if they were going to make the playoffs or not this year, and that's kind of weird for a trivia question. But you got it right. This guy got it right. This guy is the resident sports expert. Now, this final question before we let you go. Sports?
Sports.
4 for 4, baby, we got a winner. Thank you for tuning in. This has been an absolute pleasure. Noah Schwartz, which is sports. Now tell me, what show is it that you do again? Cut. Thank you for returning. I'm your host, Daniel, here with Julius Copperfield. And I'm trying to figure out today how this art makes me feel, because you all here are the art critic. Now, tell me, Julius, art?
Oh yes, indeed, Art. I couldn't be happier to be here with you and to talk about my favorite subject aside from raw potatoes.
Raw potatoes, baby. Bit underdressed, but we'll move on with it.
Oh, actually, this is the latest fashion from London.
We all know it's waffle suits. You can't trick us here, Mr. Art Critic, with your silly jokes. Now, no, I'm so sorry, Julius. I called you by my wife's name. Now, Julius, let's move on to the art. I need your help to just really gather what this piece by Samuel L. Jackson was made by. Was made with. What are the pieces to this that Samuel L. Jackson took so much creativity to make?
Well, you know, it isn't as it would seem a painting. Of course, this does look like an oil painting, but that is simply because it is displayed in 2 dimensions. See, what it actually is, it is made out of Lego.
Lego.
Yes, 3-dimensional Lego, actually a couple of mega blocks in there. If we're being completely and totally transparent on this whole thing, it's 2-dimensional still, but this sticks out about 3¼ inches from the rest of it. It is a completely 2-dimensional being. And I want to draw your attention up here to this. All these swirls here in this night that is so starry. I think the proper name for it is sunny day. But these, especially these big yellowy ones, these are organic. They are not made of the plastic of the Legos. They're actually made of raw potatoes.
Raw potatoes, baby. Now, I'm not gonna lie, you had me at Mega Bloks, and that absolutely had me unhinged.
But the detail in using these Mega Bloks, I mean, most people, when they use Mega Bloks, it is blocky. But there are some very supple curves made out of the plastic. And I think that the medium that Mr. Jackson has used here is just unbelievably skillful.
Absolutely. Curves, like my wife Noah. Now, let us move on to the next art pick. This one is probably one of my favorites, as you can see. I love it. But this one made by Aaron Hernandez, because he made art. Just kidding, that was actually Tom Brady. I was just messing with you. Aaron Hernandez, something happened to him. Tom Brady made this piece, and let me know, why did Tom Brady make this piece?
Well, see, Tom Brady, everybody may know him as a passer of pigskin, of course. But although not a very good one, if we're being honest. But this piece, I'd like to talk about it here, because it is an unflinching look into the void. Let's take a look at this. Look at the expression of this eye. This eye has seen some stuff, my dear friend. Yeah. This eye, look at it. Look how wide it is. It is completely terrified. It has seen the void. It has seen itself within the void, and it has not liked what it has seen. This is an eye that is completely and totally, to a fault, self-aware. This eye knows that it exists. This eye knows that right now, just as the two of us are sitting here, we are. This eye knows that. And this eye is completely terrified of that. But look at it.
Yes.
Look at it. What do you see?
I see.
You're wrong. What you see is a wide-eyed look, a wide-eyed expression, full of optimism, despite the soul-crushing void. It says, I am ready for the next thing. I am ready for the sun to come up tomorrow, despite the fact that I do not know the answers. I am ready to do my best. And that is why Tom Brady is divorced.
You heard it here first. It's funny, we had a resident sports expert on. Kind of familiar, but what do I know? I'm off my meds. Let's move on to the next one. What do you see here? This one, a Picasso piece, might I add, back in his beginning days, his amateur days, as you can tell by some of the stroke lines.
I love the simplicity of this piece. This piece, if I'm honest, on a personal level, this piece speaks to me. I understand this piece, but what does it say? That's a very good question, yes. Daniel. And that is, of course, why you are such an esteemed television presenter and interviewer. This piece.
It's pink. It looks like bubble gum.
It's round. It's simple. There is nothing to it which is not it. It is completely self-contained. There is no universe outside of this painting, in this painting's universe. But do you know?
What?
It is looking outward. It is looking outward, and it is disappointed. It is disappointed at what it sees. It sees. It's doing that.
It's doing that.
It's not exactly happy. But
it's not.
We don't know what it's seeing. We don't know what it's seeing. What could make someone feel? What could make a being so pink and plump and pleasant? What could make a being feel this way?
Sandra. Sandra can make him feel. Let's move on.
Let's.
Making me tear up right now. Now this one.
This one, I do believe, is by a local artist.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, of course, inspired by a weekend out on Water Street.
I thought you were going to say Bernie's, but I'm glad you said Water Street.
Yes, well, can't you see why?
I do. That looks like, I feel, everyone.
It is. Because, of course, it is, unlike any of these other works that we have discussed so far, this one is, of course, based off of Jerry Seinfeld's B-movie, The B-Movie.
Oh, hold up.
No. Let me go here. I know what I'm doing.
Okay. You are
It's
the art,
okay.
You're the art expert. You're the art expert.
It's okay.
I will let
Sandra
you go.
told me it's okay. It's okay. It is okay. This bee represents us all in those moments that we do not wish to remember. We do not wish to be documented. A little bit like this one. This bee has been caught off guard. Completely caught off guard. This is not how he would like to be represented. Someone has, although it is a painting, the painting is of a moment when someone has stuck is the word, stuck a camera in this poor bee's face. This poor bee does not want his picture taken, but here is the picture. It exists without its own consent.
Kind of looks like Nicolas Cage, I might add. Now let's move on to the next one.
Nicholas who?
Let's move on to the next one. Now, I need you to explain to me, because this one, while it may seem a little simple, it's got its complexities. It's got its moments. Those just natural brush lines. Tell me, with great detail, what is this?
This, my dear boy?
Yes.
This is the devil incarnate. This is the embodiment of all that is evil in the universe. This is not your friend.
It's not.
Actually, let me take that back. This can be your friend. But this is a being full of mischief. This is, well, it's an artistic representation of said being, of course. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
He's staring at me.
But
He's staring at me.
no, he is. Well, but he is absolutely terrified. And this is just a representation of him. This is not what he looks like. In real life, if you have met him, he has perfectly coiffed hair, a supple beard, and a leather jacket. And he does moonlight as a host of a regional television show. But the devil incarnate in this work, the devil, Lucifer, Beelzebub, if it were,
Sadness.
is absolutely terrifying.
Yes.
Which is why, as the philosopher Mick Jagger says, we must have sympathy for him.
I didn't think you were an art critic until you quoted Mick Jagger. But I'll be honest with you. You see Satan, I see a picture of a dinosaur. Agree to disagree. But at the same time, thank you. But for this next bit, we will get to watch the musical stylings of Nathan Blazer.
Is this art?
Oh. And we're back. And this is an important part of our show. While we did have a sponsorship from a water bottle company, not Raid, we don't get sponsored by Raid, we would like to ask for some donations, a little bit of spare change. Just a little bit can go a long way. But it's what keeps the lights running and is what keeps Sandra off my back. Please, leave me alone. Let's check back in on Nathan. And now we're, oh, police? I'm under arrest? Well, I guess that's it for me. Now, If you'd like some more content, I'd go on UW-Eau TV10 and watch some more. But for BPBS, this is it for me. Pay your taxes. Good night.